Howdy YouTube, Marshall Bailey here with another pipe smoking video for you. Hope you're doing good out there. I know everything's good here at the ranch. It's chilly today. Miss Janie's sitting over there, cowgirl Janie. She always helps me direct these videos. Hello, cowgirl.
Hi.
Speak up where they can hear you. But yeah, her and I do everything together. She just won't appear here on the video itself because she's not a pipe smoker. So hey, that's what they can do, is write in and see whether they want Cowgirl Janie to be on the video or not. She's shaking her head. It won't do you no good to write in. Forget it. Hey, the other day I was talking with Ben, the Artful Codger, on that Voxer thing, and he reminded me. I don't pay attention to anything, but he said that I had over 100 subscriptions now, and I do know that part of the thing for the description, I mean not the description, but the prescription thing, subscription. There's too many scriptions. I have hard enough time just talking in simple sentences without using big words. But anyway, contest. So we're gonna do a contest to see who gets to win all these fabulous prizes I'm giving away, which is just 2. Today I'm smoking this right here, and it's let me see here, I don't even know what it is. Vanilla cream. This is something I got there from Boswell's here a while back. It's good stuff. I've been smoking on it off and on. But anyway, before we get into the contest, I'll just tell you what's been going on around here today. Cowgirl Janie and I decided to take off this morning in the pickup. Same one that had the flat tire on it the other day. They don't have a flat now, of course. We got that fixed. And that is a Ford Lariat. IXL. See, I couldn't remember the other day what kind it was, so I'm telling you now. 1989, antique, like us. And anyway, went to take off on it, and we got over there to Little River, which is just west of us a little bit, and got out and shut it off, and the fuel pump's still running. And dumb thing, turn it on, shut it off, still running. So anyway, we brought it home, and I took the battery off of it, so I guess what it needs is a new switch. And that way we can cut the juice to it when you have the key off. But when I was backing out of the driveway, the other day I bought one of them projectors. Or we did, one of them Christmas projectors, you know, to light up the place, and with all these fancy gizmos like the discotheques in New York City uses, only these are stars and stuff. And but anyway, so I didn't have nothing better to do. I spent $100 on that thing, so this morning I thought I'd back the pickup over it. So I did that on the way out before the fuel pump business started up. That's been what kind of day we've been having. I hope yours is a lot better. using that pipe tamper. Hey, this is something else on that pipe tamper. Shows you how much attention I pay. When Ben sent that to me, I told you it had one of these. Well, found out it also, and this is because I don't look at things, I saw also has one of them, and Ben was nice enough to scratch in there on the handle for my pal. That's really important, see, and I just didn't notice it. My eyes are getting bad, I guess. Anyway, thanks once again, Ben. Okay, now, I'm going to get down to business. I've been thinking about this contest. Here's what you're going to win. First of all, this is the CD by Marshall Bailey and the Silver Bullets. It's a brand new CD we put out called Night Rider. It's got 15 songs on it. Music lasts about an hour. They're all cowboy songs. Most of them are songs that I've written myself, plus a few others. Look at that handsome guy on that horse. Look at that. See, whenever you're an artist, you can make yourself look young and handsome and all that stuff, so that's what I decided I would do. On the back of it, right there, if you look at that, there's a picture of Cowgirl Janie, in case you was wondering what she looked like. And then the other two boys in the band, which are twins, Jake and, not Jake, Brandon and Blake McLemore. And we started this band years ago and got pretty good at it. Got a few guys in there too that's helping us play music. One of them is Shelby Eicher, who played the fiddle with Roy Clark for 15 years. Another old boy is Jake Workman, and he's playing the guitar. And right before Jake, or right after Jake recorded this album, he went to work for Ricky Skaggs. So that just goes to show you how good that boy is. He's part of the group Kentucky Thunder. And then his wife, Rebecca. She's doing fiddling on that too. Okay, now, here's the next thing you'll win. This is a drawing by yours truly. Just drew that here. The thread's not part of the deal. I can throw that in if you want. That's a picture I drew here this last week. If you can't tell, that's a buffalo. But what we'll do on both of these things we're going to give away, we'll sign them, making them almost worth more. And that's our giveaway. Okay, now here is the rules of the contest, okay? I want a video response to make you eligible, and I want you to tell me your favorite joke, or a few of your favorite jokes. Now keep in mind when you do this that somebody might have some grandkids around, okay? That's the only thing I'd ask you. If it's a lewd joke, why, you might type in, hey, this joke's a little racy. And that way whoever's listening to it won't expose little kids to anything. So, to be fair, I'll tell you a few of my favorite jokes. There was this old boy, he was flying over the Amazon in an airplane. And his engine quit. So he bailed out. And he's coming down with that parachute, you know, and boy, here's the canopy of the rainforest, and he's looking down below for a hole. He sees one in the trees, a fairly wide hole, and so, you know, he starts leaning back and forth with his parachute, how they do, and gliding in there, and the wind's fighting him, and boy, he's going this way. And man, oh man, miracle of all miracles, he hit that hole, come down through the trees, and landed right in the middle of a boiling cauldron. These cannibals was having a family reunion. Splash down in there, you know. Of course, it surprised all these cannibals. They wasn't looking for anybody to drop in from up above like that. And he had on his aviator suit, you know. And one of them cannibal chiefs looked at the other and said, "What's this flyer doing in my soup?" Okay. They was a Janie thinks my jokes are awful, and she's right. They was this old boy that got lost in the same jungle. And he's a roaming through there for days, you know, and boy, he's really hungry. And one night when he was stumbling along, cutting through vines and all this stuff, he seen a light up ahead. So he starts towards the light there, you know, and lo and behold, it's a monastery. And so he beats on the door, you know, and a little window comes open, you know. And boy, then the door, you know, and hey, get in here, man, you look like you've been walking through the jungle for days. You know, guy says, "Oh man, I sure am glad to find you." He said, "I'm just about starved to death." So this old friar, you know, he says, "Well, come on." He says, "Come on with me, we'll take you right to the kitchen." So they took him into the kitchen, and there's another one of them old boys standing there in his robe, you know, cooking up a big batch of taters that he had sliced real thin. This old guy had kind of a sense of humor, you know, and he said, "Let me guess, you're the friar." Old boy looked at him and said, "No, I'm the chipmunk." What?
That's bad.
Oh, I know. That is bad. Oh, let me see. What would be another one? I got so many of these old jokes that I've told over the years. I'll tell you one more. Okay. This old boy sitting in a bar. No. Okay, let's back up. This old boy came into a bar, leading with a dog on a leash. Bartender says, "Hey, get that dog out. What's the matter with you? This is a public. You can't bring that dog in here for Pete's sake. Get him out of here." That old boy says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, sir." Said, "I'm blind, and this is my seeing eye dog." Bartender says, "Oh man. Oh, I feel terrible." Said, "Oh, here. Tell you what." He led him over there and he set him down at this table there, and he said, "The beer's on the house, all you can drink. That's the only way I can think of to make things right." Well, there was this old boy that was back in one of the corner booths back there towards the back where it was dark. And he seen that old boy and the situation there, so he snuck out that back door and he went home, found himself a hat, put on some dark glasses, and come through the front door, after a while with a dog. Bartender says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You can't bring any dogs in here. Get out of here. This is a public place. What's the matter with you?" Old boy says, "Oh, I'm sorry." He said, I'm blind. This is my seeing eye dog." Bartender says, "Now, you might think I'm ignorant or something, or just born yesterday, but I know that they don't have Chihuahuas for seeing eye dogs." This old boy says, "They gave me a Chihuahua?" I probably ought to quit telling them, shouldn't I?
You're going to lose everybody.
I'm going to lose everybody. Okay, I'll tell you one more. This old boy come home from work one day, and his little boy met him out in the yard. And you know, that's when you know that you've accomplished something in life, whenever you come home from a hard day's work and your kids meet you out in the yard. But he was crying. His dad said, "Well, son, what's the matter with you? Why are you crying like that?" And he said, "Oh, Dad," he said, "Mama run over my tricycle." He said, "Son, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Don't park that thing on the porch." I hate jokes about women.
I do too.
Yeah, you know, women have became the captains of industry. They have really made their place in society. Jokes about women, that's just something you shouldn't. I heard one the other day. There was this old boy sitting there watching TV. His daughter came in and said, "Daddy, I've got to talk to you." He'd sitting there, you know, he was getting ready for his daughter's wedding, and so he's sitting there broke. He said, "No, wait a minute, honey, I'll talk to you here in a second. There's a real important play on this football game. I'm trying to catch. You see, they're all tied up, and this is just he might make this extra point, and this is just a minute." And she said, "Daddy, I can't marry him." Man, this caught his attention. He shut the TV off. He said, "What do you mean you can't marry him?" Said, "We've spent a fortune on this church and all these decorations and the limousine and all these bridesmaid dresses, and what do you mean? What do you mean you can't marry him?" She says, "Well, Daddy, I just can't leave Mama." Well, Dad says, "Well, take her with you." There. I hate those women jokes like that. I mean, that's just not right. Yeah. But anyway, there you are. Video response. Because I've heard a lot of these video responses, and I really enjoy them. And I was thinking to myself, if I was ever going to do this, what would I do that I haven't seen done yet? And I thought, well, that'd be kind of fun to do, is if everybody would just tell their favorite jokes and kind of share them around, you know, with each other, and have a good laugh and just enjoy things. So I'll tell you one more. One more. There's this old traveling salesman going around to different farms, and he sold nuts and bolts to these farmers, and got to know all of them, and they got to know him, and he was on first name basis. So he stopped in at this one farm there and visited with him a while, and the old farmer said, "Well, why don't you just stay for supper?" Oh, he was kind of wishing maybe he hadn't invited him, because this old particular farmhouse was kind of ratty and the place was kind of wore down, and but then again, he didn't want to be antisocial, so he said, "Yeah, I'll have supper with you." So he gets him in there in the house, and the house has just got it's pretty bad, and there's animals running around in there. They're chicken on the table, and I had to knock him off, and cats and dogs are running around, and a goat come walking through, and it was a kind of interesting place. Windows was open and the doors was kind of half beat down, so these animals just kind of come in and out as they want. Well, they were sitting there eating supper, and this old pig comes a hobbling across there, and he noticed this pig had a wooden leg. And he said, "I got to ask you, I've never seen a pig with a wooden leg, hind leg, right side." Could have been the left side, but this is my story. He said, "Man, oh man," he said, what's the deal with that pig?" And the old farmer said, "Oh, that's a hero pig." "A hero pig?" He said, "Oh yeah." He said, that pig there, that is one good pig. He's a hero pig." And he says, "What do you mean? Tell me the story." And the old guy says, "Well," he says, "I was across the section there plowing one day and got my tractor stuck, and so I wasn't using very good sense, and I was out there, and had that tractor goosed up there, and it was spinning in the mud, the rear wheels there, and I grabbed me a tie and I throwed it underneath that back wheel so it would catch and dig him out of there, but said that darn old tractor caught that tie and flipped it just right, and it come over backwards like that, and I couldn't get out of the way, and that tractor landed right on me." Said that the old guy says, "Well, man, is that what happened to the pig?" And he says, "Oh no," he said, "the pig was just fine, but," he said, "he seen that I was in peril, being out there miles away from anybody." He says, "That old pig run across two sections, a couple miles, and went over there and looked all around and found the neighbor, and kind of pulled at him, with his on his pant leg, and finally the neighbor decided that he better see what was up, so this pig led him back over there, and the neighbor helped me get out of there, and by golly, I'll tell you what, that right there is the story of the hero pig." Guy said, "Well, I still don't explain how he lost his leg." Old farmer says, "Well," he says, "a pig that good, you don't eat him all at once." And I'll close out of here by telling you Abraham Lincoln's favorite joke. This old farmer was walking down the road carrying the pitchfork over his shoulder, been putting up hay all day. Come past his neighbor's place. Old neighbor's dog run down the driveway and started attacking him. Mean dog. So this old guy had this pitchfork, you know, and fending that dog off, and finally he just run that pitchfork through that dog. Well, that neighbor found his dog there, and so he got all mad about it, and he come over there, you know. He said, "Hey," he said, "you killed my dog with the pitchfork." Guy said, "Yeah, I did." He said, "How come?" He said, "Your dog was attacking me." He said, "Well, why didn't you take that pitchfork and go at him with the other end?" He said, "How come your dog didn't come at me with the other end?" Okay, so I'm going to get out of here. A few jokes there for you. Hope you enjoyed them. And give me a video response. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to pick the best joke. What I'm going to do is everybody responds, I'm going to put their name in this hat here and draw them out. And then the winner is the winner. So there you go. So I'm going to get on out of here. Hope you have a good time listening to this, and send me some of your favorite jokes. This is Marshall Bailey here. I'll catch you on the flip-flop.